You think you're in control. You think your choices shape your future. But what if everything, your success, your struggles, even your downfall, was already set in motion by something bigger than you? What if history has been warning us all along and we just keep ignoring it? Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling, eye-opening stories ever recorded, the fall of a nation that thought it was invincible. All right, buckle up, because this is not your typical history lesson. This is the Book of Two Kings, and it's got everything: power struggles, epic miracles, political drama, and some seriously bad decision-making. Basically, if the Bible were a Netflix series, this book would be the season where everything falls apart. We start with a divided kingdom, Israel in the north, Judah in the south, both of which were handpicked by God, but, well, let's just say they didn't exactly live up to their potential. The author, possibly the prophet Jeremiah, but honestly, it could have been any exiled writer looking at the smoldering ruins of their homeland and saying, "Yep, saw that coming," lays it all out, explaining how these nations ignored warning after warning until they finally collapsed. The story kicks off with the legendary prophet Elijah making his grand exit, literally getting swept up to heaven in a whirlwind, passing the torch to Elisha, who spends his career performing miracles, warning people, and basically trying to get Israel to stop ruining itself. Spoiler, they don't listen. The northern kingdom continues its downward spiral, worshipping anything but God, and in 722 BC, the Assyrians roll in and wipe them off the map. Meanwhile, Judah takes notes, but somehow still decides to follow the same disastrous path, despite brief bright spots under kings like Hezekiah and Josiah, who actually try to clean up the mess. Hezekiah even gets a last-minute save when God wipes out an invading Assyrian army overnight. Pretty impressive, right? But unfortunately, these revivals are just temporary. The downward spiral continues, with kings like Manasseh leading Judah into full-blown idolatry, child sacrifice, and all sorts of bad decisions that make you wonder if they were actively speedrunning their own destruction. By 586 BC, Babylon has had enough, and Nebuchadnezzar rolls into Jerusalem, levels the temple, and drags the people into exile. It's game over. The once great kingdom of Judah is gone. But here's where things take a turn, because even in the middle of all this chaos, 2 Kings sneaks in a little hope. The book ends with the release of a former king, Jehoiachin, from prison in Babylon, a tiny but significant reminder that God's not done yet. This moment points ahead to a future restoration, one that would eventually be fulfilled through Jesus, the true king, who would bring ultimate redemption. So, what do we learn from all this? Well, for one, history has a way of repeating itself when people refuse to listen. Seriously, 2 Kings could be a case study in self-sabotage. It also reminds us that leadership matters, spiritual compromise has consequences, and no nation, no matter how blessed, is above accountability. But most importantly, it shows that even in judgment, God's mercy is never far behind. I'll leave you to discuss in the comments. Do you think we're repeating the same mistakes today? You can support us by subscribing if you haven't already. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I'll catch you soon in another video.